So guys, after creating your components, right, you might want to create what we call variants to help you across your designs or your different states of input boxes, right? Now that you've created your input field component, click on this and say add variant, right? Now these are different states. We're going to create different states of your text field, right? I'm going to call up, right? I'm going to bring this. Now what I want to do is a drop down state of your text field, right? I'm going to just add it inside. Now look what happens, right? Inside the our variant component, right? Now I want to add them the same height. Now this is 49. Take note of this. So sometimes when you add a new element, it might change the height or the width of what you currently have, right? So what we can do here, since we have a height of 49 and this has changed because of the height of this icon, right? You can just simply come here manually and say 49 and come to auto layout, align. Now align center left, right? This is align left, top left, align bottom left, align center left, right? Once you've done that, you are now aligning both your text and your icons, right? Now, if you look closely, we want the icon to be here to indicate or illustrate a drop down. But look, it's always here by default because it's going to give us a spacing of 10. Now, to do that, you can do what we call auto. You can see? Now, the reason why auto is important, the spacing between these items are not defined. That means anytime you stretch this, is going to maintain that consistency on the right hand side, right? Let's go back. But if you define, let's say 40, okay, let's say 100, right? Anytime you touch this, that will be constant. So you might even come and overlap your icon, right? Let's go back. So the best way to do this with text field is what? Auto. But at the end time you stretch to maintain that consistency, right? Now, we've done a variant of our text field. This is default. Now this we want to name this drop down. So you can quickly come here and say what? Drop down. We now have a variant of our text field. Default, drop down, name it. Right? To create another one, simply duplicate, Control D. What we want to create now is a date field. So you say calendar for your icons. Pick this, drop it. Now, because this is auto and you already have an icon element, you can go ahead to delete this. Come here and name this date. So now we have default, we have drop down, and we have date. Another one we might want to do, duplicate. In most cases, we might want to have search, depending on how you want to illustrate that. Drag it, put it here in your text field. Delete this one. Also, come here and name it what? search. So what I want to do here is to name this text to be what? Select. Name this by default. I don't want to put date. I want to put day slash month slash year. One, two, three, four. And here I will simply name it search. Right? I want to also create a password field. Duplicate it, look for the eye icon, this, drop it, delete the existing. Now name this password, right? Cool. Now I want to create one more that says text field. Now this I can name it password. I'll add another variant. I'll call this here text area. Now you know how text area is. It's a text field you can add long text or message. So I want to stretch, right, and add it to the top. Now for this, so there are two ways. Is either you hide this and say zero, right, or you delete it and add this to zero. Remove the auto. So here I can say message. Now what we've done successfully, we've created a different variant of our text element or text component, right? Now I'm going to assume these are the empty states, right? I want to add more variants that says the field state. So in default, duplicate. I'm going to call here and say default field. Now because this is a placeholder that's going to either show first name, last name, enter this, enter that, placeholder. But the field state here is simply going to change color to what? Black, to indicate that the button is filled, the text field has been filled, right? Here, duplicate and say what? Drop down field. Change the text so we can copy the same color. D3. No, did manually, right? Drop down field, date, duplicate, say date field, change this. Now for the field, you might put a default character and says 01, 02, 2000, 2003, right? For the search, you can say search field, search for elements. For password, you can say password field, See what? Star 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you can change that here, the field state. Now for the final variant, which is this, our text area, you can change the text here. First of all, let's name it. Say text area field. Change the color, right? Let's say this is a text area. So guys, we've done our text area or text field variant, right? How is this important? Let's apply this. Now, because we have named it input field, you can come to your assets and look for what? Input. Here's it. Drag it, add to your work, right? Now, let's apply this. Let's apply this. Now I've dragged our input field component into our work area, and I will now say, let me use it to create a form. Or rather, before then, right? Let me tell us the importance of our element we created or component. Now, this is our by default. These are all the variants of this text field, right? Now you can switch between variants here. Remember, this is default, select or drop down, date, search, and the likes, right? So here you can now switch between this variant. Come here, this button here. Let's switch to drop down. Can you see what happens? Now see the drop down variant. Let's switch to date. Can you see? We've switched to date. Let's switch to date field. Can you see what's happening? Now, if at any time, right, let's say we go back to default and we make changes to this default here, look, it will affect the component, right? Now, but if you switch, since drop down element doesn't have red, look what happens. But if you change this color now, it affects it. But you can switch to another or simply switch to default.